Hey everybody, Scott Ogan coming at you again. We got some stuff here. So we're gonna show you how you can use this stuff to have the most effective training aids in your garage setup. All right, everybody, Scott Ogan coming at you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're gonna talk about garage golf setups. So we are gonna be talking about the training aids. This is what I get a lot of questions actually now. People that come to take lessons from me now actually have their own setups, just like we have here in their garage. And actually, this whole place started as a garage setup for me before it evolved into what it is now. So it's so easy. Very, very good. So you have SkyTrax, GC2s, TrackMans, all that are getting easier and easier to get and operate and have. So I'm seeing more of that. And then the questions I get are, what would you put or what do you use in a garage that you would use as a training? So we'll go over my favorite. I got 3 of them for you that I would love for you to use. I think they're very versatile and you can do a lot of things with them. So I love using them. Before we do that, click that subscribe button. Make sure you don't miss out. We've got our Project 170 coming up. We've got videos about what you shouldn't listen to on the tour, all of that stuff. Make sure you don't miss out on any of it. Okay, so let's get into garage golf setups, training aids here, okay? So training aids, I love training aids that you can buy from, hardware stores, the Targets, the Walmarts of the world. I think A, they're effective, B, they're cheaper. So you don't have to spend a lot of money. Some of these training aids are gonna get damaged, so you're gonna have to replace them. So if you gotta replace it, you don't want it to get broke and be expensive. So the first thing I would have that is necessity, and you should have this in your bag at all times, but the first thing I would have is a driveway marker or an alignment rod basically, right? And the reason I would have this, okay, there's so many things you can do with this where you can work on balance. I can place this under my feet, start feeling how I balance front and back. I can work on alignment. I can set it out here and see where I'm starting the ball relative to my start line. I can set it behind me. I could make up a block and have it sitting and work on playing, things like that. I'll show you another one I like that's easier than that, but you can do a lot of things like that. I can also take this, and let's say you're somebody that works on, all right, I need to rotate more in chips. I can just put it in here nice and easy, work on some motion for my short game, and I'll be in good shape. So it's a really, really versatile tool. Again, you can work on it outside, very, very inexpensive, $2, and you've got everything you need for that, and it's really, really good. So that's the first one I would use as we're going through. The second one I would use, okay, is actually yoga blocks. So I love yoga blocks, 2 reasons. 1, if you hit them, they don't hurt, okay? 2, you can move them and put them in a way. I like obstructions when you're working on your swing. You need what's called feedback. The whole point of a training aid is you have to know if you're doing it correctly or not. So I like these types of objects to help me figure stuff out. So let's say I'm working on, okay, club path. That's probably my favorite thing to do with these. I'm going to take one of these yoga blocks, okay, and put it on the outside, and I'm actually gonna angle it so it's on that desired path I wanna see. Now my goal is to hit that ball without hitting the block. Now again, if I hit the block, it's not gonna hurt anything. It's not gonna hurt anything out here. It's just gonna be reset it up and do it again. But I can do that. I could also do a couple of things where, all right, I can go that way if I'm hitting too much of a hook, hitting from the inside. Also, if I step it up in front, I can use it for angle of attack on driver, make sure I don't hit it, okay? I can put it up in front, same idea, it's not gonna hurt. If the ball were to hit it, it just goes flying, it's not gonna bounce back at you. So that's another great one. The other thing you can do is I use this sometimes to stick the alignment rod I have into it. You can see a hole in there, and I can put stuff in the way. That way I can work on path of the club, the swing, all that stuff again. Or I can stick it out here. One of my favorites to do is actually put it out here, put a alignment rod in it, and try to hit that alignment rod, seeing if I can get my start line exactly where I want to. So yoga blocks, really good one, very, very inexpensive, and very versatile again. All right, so we get into the last one. This is the big kahuna, the road cone, okay? So again, you can get this at Lowe's. These are a little bit more expensive, like $15, I think, but this one's gonna last. Again, a couple of things that we can do with this. My favorite thing about the road cone is it really works well for half of the club. All right, I don't wanna take it too far inside. Okay, so I'm gonna work on staying on the outside of the cone, and then I can actually work on coming down because I wanna get to the inside of the cone, right? I can do a lot of stuff with that. I can place it on the front side as well and work on my swing that way. So you can use the cone. This is my favorite one to use for swing playing. If you need something that's higher, you can put a alignment rod right inside, have it extend up, get it up a little bit higher. So those types of things work really well. Again, if you had enough of a setup, you could put it out there and try to hit it. Be careful that it doesn't bounce back at you depending on what type of cone you have. They might get a little firm, but love the road cone. That would be the third one I would pick. Again, very versatile in what you're doing. You can make up a bunch of stuff with it, and there you go. So that's the three I would pick. You notice the theme of all three of them. One, they serve multiple purposes, okay? Two, they are cheap. If you break them, you're gonna be able to replace them. And I am a big fan of training aids that make you go in motion. I'm not the biggest fan when you have something that restricts you, because that's gonna put you in a position, but it's not teaching you how to move to that position. It's just putting you there. So it might help you feel something, but you're not feeling how am I gonna move to get into that position. So that sometimes doesn't really work out really well for people. So I'd rather see you moving, doing some motion, using some tools to help you figure out how to get there. But all really cheap, really, really inexpensive, easy to get. So I love those three. That's the three I would use for my garage golf setup. Comment down below, let us know what you would use. I'd love to hear your ideas for training aids, what you find effective and what you don't. And as always, click that subscribe button and we will see you in the next video.